Here, now, in 1965, is your greatest opportunity for sales and commissions. You have today the finest line of cars to sell in the history of American motors. And the new Marlin is the most exciting traffic builder to appear in years. You have strong advertising support, building public interest in these cars. And you have Rambler special promotions, such as Rambler's Challenge to Change Sweepstakes. These promotions are designed to reach people, interest them in Rambler, and invite them to drive a Rambler. With all such promotions, you stand to be the big winner. With extra sales, added income from dealing with large numbers of qualified prime prospects. This year, you can win by meeting your personal challenge. Sell 5 cars this year for every 4 you sold last. And do it with a sound work plan based on your 5-a-day prospecting system, combined with an effective demonstration program. Now let's review in greater detail the basic selling methods by which you can benefit from activities like this. You are receiving, and will continue to receive, 5-a-day prospecting cards bearing the names and addresses of competitive owners in your area, plus your local Rambler owners. Put these cards to work immediately. You might start by sorting and filing them by neighborhood groups, by dates on which you plan sales action, by whatever method suits you. Then start getting these people acquainted with you through the mail. Send them Rambler postcards, introducing yourself, encouraging them to come in. A card like this not only serves as a reminder of the promotion, but gives the prospect information he should know, your name and the name of your dealership. It paves the way for your next step. To make this or any such program work for you, send at least 25 such cards every day. This is not just an arbitrary number. It represents the fact that, with postcards, you are playing the odds, trying to reach the one person in any neighborhood group who is considering a new car right now. And the more cards you send, the better your chance of reaching that man. A couple of days later, follow up by telephone. The personal call increases by many times the chances that the prospect will come into your dealership. So each day, make as many phone calls as you have time for, and say something like this.
Mr. Edmonds, this is Dave Jackson at Hometown Rambler. Am I interrupting anything important? Fine. Did you receive my card about Rambler's Challenge to Change Sweepstakes? Well, I wondered when it might be convenient for you to drop in and let me enter you in the drawing. You know, you have a good chance to win a big prize in this Challenge to Change. And whether you win or not, if you'll test drive one of our cars, I'll give you a scale model miniature of a new Rambler.
In this way, try to make at least 5 showroom appointments every day, because these prospects are the best possible kind of floor traffic. And before they start to come in, be sure you're ready for them. Have all your sales literature organized. X-ray books, quick reference guide, catalogs, color and trim books, data book, and, of course, sales order forms. Be prepared to make a full selling presentation on any car you have on the floor. And be fully prepared to conduct an effective demonstration drive. And this definitely includes making absolutely certain that your demonstrator is in peak condition, that its appearance is gleaming and spotless, outside, under the hood, in the trunk, and of course, inside the car. In addition, this car should be in peak mechanical condition, the engine tuned to perfection, and all operating parts thoroughly checked and adjusted. When a prospect does come in, start by giving him the warm, friendly welcome. In this case, it might go like this.
Yes, Mr. Edmonds, nice of you to come in. I'll be glad to enter your name in the drawing.
And this salesman leads his prospect to the sweepstakes prize chart and explains all the chances he has to win.
While you're here, maybe you'd like to enter our bonus sweepstakes. That gives you an additional chance. You can win a 1965 Rambler. All you have to do is test drive one of our new Ramblers. In addition, I'll give you a Rambler scale model free just for taking the drive.
Then, before starting any demonstration, the salesman makes this suggestion.
Mr. Edmonds, suppose while we're out, I arrange for a free appraisal of your car. Do you have your keys?
With the appraisal arranged for, the salesman takes the prospect to the demonstrator to get started on a real selling demonstration. The driving demonstration is not left to chance. The salesman has planned this drive carefully because he knows that this is the finest possible way to turn prospects into buyers. He has planned how he will handle the prospect to impress him most favorably with the car. Generally, the salesman will suggest that he drive first. This gives him a chance to show and tell about Rambler features, such as starting, shifting, steering, braking, while the customer watches. Also, this gives the salesman the opportunity to establish the demonstration route, which is most important. Some good salesmen believe in a route that has some of every kind of driving condition available to him. Stop-and-go city traffic, high-speed expressway, neighborhood streets, steep hills, rough roads and railroad crossings, a great variety of roads which will show how beautifully this car handles under all conditions. Others believe in making this drive as serene and pleasant as possible. Thus, they may select a route of smooth blacktop pavement, of nice scenery, pleasant surroundings, such as you might find in a park. The whole route is planned for the greatest quiet, ease of handling, driving pleasure. Whatever the route used, after driving away from the dealership for a while, the salesman invites the prospect to take the wheel for the return trip. And while the prospect is driving, the salesman lets him set the pace. The salesman is quiet, allowing the prospect to completely enjoy this experience. The salesman speaks only to answer a question or make a helpful suggestion. Finally, when they have returned to the dealership, the salesman capitalizes on the prospect's enthusiasm for his driving experience.
Mr. Edmonds, I see you're thinking about buying a new car this year. I'd like to think that it might be one of our fine new Ramblers.
And he goes on to qualify his prospect carefully. Depending on how the prospect reacts, the salesman may go into a full showroom presentation on a classic, an American, or an ambassador. Or he may use X-ray to sell Rambler features and values against some other car if the prospect is considering another. Or, with the appraisal in hand, he may start right in talking price, trade-in, options, and delivery. Whether or not he makes the sale at this time, he finds a reason to introduce the prospect to his dealer or sales manager. In this case, it might go like this.
Okay, Mr. Edmonds, you're in the drawing for the dream home and other prizes. And you've qualified for the bonus sweepstakes with a chance to win a Rambler. I'll just ask Mr. Edgar to sign your entry. Make it official, you know. Come in. I'd like to have you meet him.
This introduction impresses the prospect with the friendliness and businesslike approach of the dealership, and it builds goodwill.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you with us, Mr. Edmonds, and to wish you luck in the sweepstakes. May I ask, how did you like driving a Rambler?
In this way, the introduction also provides the chance for the dealer to add his persuasion to the salesman's. To the prospect, this is simply getting his entry validated. To the salesman, it is getting third-party support to help close a sale. Finally, the salesman places the prospect's entry form in the ballot box and graciously presents him with his scale model Rambler.
Mr. Edmonds, because you took a challenge to change drive, we have this miniature car for you. It's an exact scale model of a 1965 Rambler, and I sincerely hope that you'll have a full-size version of this in your drive before long. In fact, if you don't mind, I'd like to give you a call in a day or two to see when you might like to take your whole family for a drive in a new Rambler.
Thus, if the salesman hasn't already made the sale, he arranges for further follow-up and then thanks the prospect for taking the time to come in. These have been some suggestions of effective ways for handling the volume of prospects you'll get from the Challenge to Change campaign and similar Rambler promotions. Undoubtedly, each of you has his own methods of handling each prospect. If they work for you, fine. The big point is, you must start out by realizing that anyone who receives a Rambler mailing stands a very good chance of being a prime prospect. For example, the people who receive sweepstakes entry forms are not just people who want to take a chance on winning a prize. These are people specifically selected because their patterns of car ownership fit the patterns of people who will buy Rambler cars this year. These are people who are well worth following up by postcard, getting in touch with by telephone, and talking with in person. These are people who are worth demonstrating to, selling to, because they represent your greatest opportunity to meet your challenge for sales.